Well, hi everyone, this is Sagar Shah and welcome to day 11 of Improve Your Chess with Sagar. We are past the halfway mark now. After today's session, we would have passed it. So, thanks for sticking in here. I know it's not easy for you guys as well because there's a lot of intensive chess that we do every day. But today is something very interesting that we are going to discuss, and I'll come to it in a bit. But first, a big hi to everyone who is in the chat. I hope that you can hear me well, and well, I can see a lot of people joining in slowly. So while you join in, I'll just give you a small update. We have raised 38,000 rupees 198 until now, and you can go to this link fightcovid19.chessbase.in. It's in your description to know more about where the funds have been used. Where the funds have been collected from. They'll be all donated to PM Cares Fund. I would like to give a shout out to Labby Andrews Kuriakos, Suryansh Verma, Krishna Kumar Bagel, Ved Jadhav, Mayuresh Date, Hriday Manyar. They all contributed through the PayUmoney link, so their name was not in the super chat that comes up here. So thank you all for doing this. And yes, if you would like to contribute, please go ahead and do it. There are two ways to do it. One is through the PayUmoney link in the description. The other one is through the super chat. You can see the dollar sign in your chat and you can contribute via that. Okay, so let's begin with today's session, and we as always begin with some tactics on the chessbase account. And here's the first one. It's black to move. What would you play here? Shashank is saying that the audio is coming out of only one speaker. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's the same settings like every day. I hope things are okay. Yeah, for all those asking me how to register for today's Blitz tournament, if you go to chessbase.in here website, you have it right on the top, the tournament, a very strong one, by the way. Adiban, Rinat Jumabayev, Arvind, Alan Pichot, SL Narayanan, Pragnananda, lot of players are playing, and you can see all the entire list, and below it is a form. So if you are a chessbase premium account user, it's free for you the entire tournament. So get a membership and play this event. It's at 8 p.m. tonight. All the instructions are here. Okay, so I have couple of moves which are being suggested. One is knight to d2, the other one is knight to e3. Which one looks much better? Well, I think knight d2. Can your opponent sacrifice a queen there? By the way, a big thanks to Rishila Banerjee, who's contributed 100 rupees, the first contributor of today. Thank you so much, Rishila, for being online and also for contributing. Wonderful. Okay, so knight d2 looks good because then you win a piece here, but knight d2 could be met with queen into d5, because if ed5, the queen is hanging on e7. I hope you guys saw that, and that's the reason why I want you to focus a bit more on what we are doing here. That's why I give you the position first, so that you are focused. Knight e3 looks much better, but then let's say I move my queen to c2. What do you do next? Knight, give me some moves. Yeah, Hema Logu says knight e3, queen b1, knight c2. Sorry, I want knight e3. I can't play queen c2 by the way because the queen is hanging. So where do I go? Knight e3. There's no way that I can defend this bishop. Yeah. So good job, guys. All those who said knight e3, well done. This is the right move. For all those who said knight d2, this is a mistake because I can take, and you shouldn't miss such moves. Take and you lose the queen. The position still might be interesting, but not so good to play this way. Piece down. Okay, let's go to the next one. Black to move. Yeah, this one is nice. Let's see if anyone can get it quickly over here. Who's the first one who can get it? Hima Padala says, can you say steps to create a chess-based premium account? Well, I'll tell you after this session, I mean the tactics session. Mohsen Esfahan says, do you have a channel in Twitch? Well, we have a channel in Twitch, but it's not very popular. Hopefully we can make it popular someday. It's called Chess India. Ilam Parthi is the first one. Also Kimaya Virle has got it. But Kimaya, please write the full variation like Ilam Parthi has done. Also Mitesh has got it. Rajesh Verma, Virinchi, Shivam Chaudhary, Sairam, Sumed Ramteke, Vishal Kumar, Kimaya, Divya, Mayur, Tharun M, Bhargav, Gargi, Reshu Jain, Chanchal Jha, Vaishnav, Gokul. All of you have got the right answer. Amazing. Ripple, Padmani, Prathamesh Divekar, Shabistan, Rishila, Pranav Thakur, Shriyana. Excellent, guys. You guys are. It's a huge list. If I read it, we may lose maybe the half the class. So let's make the move. Queen d2. Well done to all those who found it. And after Rook d2, you have the very nice intermediate move Knight c2. And if the king is trapped, so you have to take it. And now it's a checkmate. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is white to move. Yeah, this one looks tricky. So white to move. What do you play here? It's an interesting position. I would say you need to calculate things a bit carefully. Yeah, Sairam Sampath, you are right, but please give me the full variation. Also, Gaurav Zagade. I think very important is to give the entire line. First move, I would say many of you can find. Prathamesh Divekar has got it right. Rishila Banerjee as well. Ilam Parthi is writing all the variations. I am very happy. So please follow that. Yeah, don't, if you get one move, go for the next one. Okay, Parshuraman, a big thanks to you. Is contributed 100 rupees via super chat. Thanks a lot. It'll all go to the PM Cares Fund. Shriyana, good job. You've written more than one move. Jaideep Chakrabarti, if you give a check with the knight, then ef6 and you play rook h4, then my f pawn can take the queen. So be careful there. Yeah. Yeah. So all those who found the move rook to h4. Well done, excellent thinking. We'll look at the variations, but now he's played rook h8. And how do you finish off the game? What's the fastest way? Did you spot this defense? That's an important question. Maybe not, yeah. So then you shouldn't be patting yourself on the back. Anyway, how to finish this off? Yeah, no science with Ravish. Good job with the lines, but here how do you finish? Rook h8 was a nice defensive move. But now if you go knight f6, I go king g7, and how do we continue there? Knight f6, I understand. If knight f6 he takes, we play queen h6 and win. But knight f6, king g7, what do we do next? Queen h6, huh? Okay, interesting. No, knight f6 I understand, but then king g7. Here if you play queen into h6, king into h6, I don't see the mate as such. Yeah, Hema, I understand all of you who feel knight f6 take, and this is of course normal, but knight f6, king g7, if you take the queen, I'll take your queen. And then what's happening, I'm not sure. Not so easy, yeah? Yes, Kushal Jani seems to have struck on the right move. Well done, Kushal. I think you are the first one. Perhaps, I don't know. Even Shri Kumar, I think, has got it. The point is knight f6 check, king g7, and now comes the critical move, not to take the queen, but to take on h6. And now ef6, because if you took back the rook, I could take your queen. And now what next? How do we finish off opponent here? Anyone? Kavita Naidu says, I'm solving tactics in my chessbase account. Good job, good job. Please do that. I hope yesterday's homework was done. How many of you solved 100 tactics? This was what I had asked you. I hope that you did it. Yes, here it's straightforward now. It's a mate with e into f6. Good job if you found this. And now if king g8, you can take, and checkmate. By the way, this was very nice problem. I think first of all, rook h4 was pretty interesting. If you take here, then after rook h5, there is no way to stop. Queen h6. If h g5, there is this nice checkmate with the knight and the rook. And lastly, rook h8. I don't think many of you considered this. So you should be looking at opponent's best options. And now if he takes here, then you can go and checkmate him. But the key defense was king g7. When you take and win the queen. In the game he took on f6, but now came ef, king g8, and you win the game. Well done. Okay, Niranjan Warrior says my tactics rating is 2305. Well done. Also Mitesh said he has solved 100 yesterday. Atul Tripathi, welcome to the show. Arun Dikshit said I solved 200 tactics yesterday, brought it up to 2420. Wow. So your rating is right now 2 points above me. I'm going to solve one more and go ahead of you. Okay. So black to move, interesting. Now look at this from the point of view of not the first move, just say it out loud, but look at the defenses for your opponent. Can you find them? Also count the material on the board, so you know what's happening. Sumit says he has a rating of 2500 plus in tactics. Amazing, amazing. Shivam Chaudhary 2257, Vishal Kumar 2570, Anushka Joshi says she solved it. Purvit Patel, your question is really out of context here. Please don't keep on posting it again and again. It's really try to solve some tactics, that is going to be useful. Reshma Dulgat says 2361. Sri Devi says I solved 87. Amazing. Shriram Chakradev says what's your daily routine? Well, in general, after this session, which gets over around 10:30, I'll have my breakfast come lunch. So that's what I do. And then I sit down to work and usually work until the night, because right now you can't really go out, so that's the schedule. Aditya Ramanathan has come up with a very interesting suggestion here. Aditya, can you spot any defense for your opponent, or you think that your variation looks good? First of all, we need to understand what's wrong with the most natural move, which is to take here with the queen. Queen into h3 is the most natural move. What is wrong with it? NEG3 said someone. Okay, that's possible, but yeah, this one is not at all easy, but it is beautiful, and I hope that some of you can solve it. Ilam Parthi has done it, also Aditya Ramanathan has done it, but there is something better here. Queen h3, I think n2 g3 is one move. I was also looking at queen into h6, because after queen into h6, if g into h6, f into g4 could be, I have a rook and two knights for the queen. So the right move here is really a powerful move. Also Pankaj got it. Well done. Practical thinking. Mithran Pradeep Kumar, yes, the right move is knight h2. Amazing. You guys are really very strong. King h2, and it's a checkmate. Good job. Now the thing is, if you were to take here, then I can look at n2 g3 as all of you suggested. This looks like a fine move, but also I was thinking, what if I take here? It doesn't look so silly, because after take, check, and knight g3, it seems like white is doing okay. And also another move is after knight h2, knight g5, but here I think black can play many different moves. Knight into f3 is one option. Seems strong to me, knight f3, but also queen into g5, queen g5, knight f3, and take here seems also possible. So okay, so that was good, good training, I think, overall. Okay, if I take here, sorry, I made a mistake. If I take here, then knight h6 can be taken, and I think black is better. So better is to play n2 g3 itself, and yeah. Okay, Atharva Polekar, welcome with your own account. You're not with your father's account. That's good. Okay, so guys, let's come back to today's session. By the way, one question was how to make a chessbase account. So I'll quickly run you through. One is that first you go to chessbase.in website, okay, and you go to the online shop here and you type account in the search product, and then you buy a 3-month or a 1-year account. When you buy it over here and you pay for it, you get a serial key in your mail. Then you go to in that mail you have the entire procedure, but I'm just showing you. You go to account.chessbase.com. over here you make a new account, sign in, go to user data, and here there is a button called enter serial number to extend membership, and the serial number which is given to your mail, you just put it here and you become a premium member. I hope this was clear to all those who didn't know how to make an account. Okay, so what are we going to do today? That is the question. And while you tell me that, I'm going to just go through the imbalances which we have learned. We have learned superior minor piece imbalance. We have learned pawn structure. We are yet to learn the others, but it's not like we never touched upon them. It's not like they are different from each other. Yeah. Just a second. I'm just trying to see if things are in order in terms of the settings. Okay, I hope my sound is okay. Then we go to what we have learned already in minor piece, which is if you have a bad bishop, you can do 3 things: exchange it, change the structure, bring it outside the pawn chain. If your opponent has double bishops, try to exchange one of them. If you have the bishop pair, preserve them and part with them at the right moment. Fourth, knights prefer closed positions, bishops love open positions. Sixth, knight like pawns on one side of the board. Bishops like positions with pawns on both sides. Knights are good blockaders. We move to pawn structures where we had learnt about doubled pawns. If fixed can become a weakness. Double pawns give you additional open files. Backward pawns are the ones which are behind its neighboring pawns, which have no one to defend them. Square in front of the backward pawn is usually a weakness. An isolated pawn is a weakness because it is not supported by any pawns around it. When you have an isolated pawn, avoid exchanging pieces. If you are playing against the isolated pawn, then you must try to exchange pieces. Passed pawns lust to expand, which means they want to move ahead always, they want to move forward. And lastly, passed pawn is a criminal. He must be placed under lock. That's what Nimzo used to say. It must be blockaded. Okay. And by the way, here's a short summary of how much we have raised until now. 38,198. So it's been growing pretty well, but day 8 was pretty amazing. We had raised 13,000 rupees. Yesterday was nice. We raised 7,500. Let's see what happens today. Okay, so let's go to the board, and today I'm going to instead of talking about space, which we are going to do very soon, I'm going to discuss something very interesting in the Nimzo Indian. Why am I doing this? Is because I want to show you and fortify your knowledge already that you have gained of the minor pieces and pawn structure. Okay, so are you ready for it? And if you are, please let me know in the comments. We are going to look at some very interesting games. Okay, so let's just see. Once you let me know that you're good to go, there's a lot of things to see today. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a game that was extremely famous. Okay, Sayan Roy says yes, Rishila Banerjee, yes, everyone is kind of ready. Sairam Sampath, Haldar Yasmin, Sherwin D'Souza, Shivam Chaudhary, Art Gadgets, yes, good guys. And this entire session might look like, oh, why is he discussing one opening? But it's not just one opening. I think it is a lot of knowledge here about pawn structures, minor pieces. I want you to think, and I have discussed a bit about this already, but we will be looking it in more depth, and you will also understand what top level chess preparation is all about. Okay, so this game is between Fischer, who's playing with the black pieces, and Spassky. So Spassky versus Fischer in their famous match, 1972 World Championship match. This is game number 5. So d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, knight f3, c5, e3, knight c6, bishop d3. And here, black players, and this is Fischer, yeah, who's playing with black. Usually when white goes a3, only then they take on c3, yeah. But in this position, what black said to himself is, I'm going to create an imbalance unprovoked. White is not provoking me, but I'm still going to create this imbalance by giving up my bishop for a knight, but spoiling the structure. And now everything revolves around this imbalance in the position where black has given up a bishop and white has the bishop pair but also slightly weak structure. Okay, so now the next task is not to let white open up the position. So you play d6, e4, and what do you do now in this position? Can anyone tell me? Black to move, what should you play? Yes, Ilam Parthi, this is game 5 of the World Championship match 1972, a very very famous match. I don't know how many of you have seen through all the games, but it was one of the most riveting matches in the history of chess, which made chess the most popular sport at that point. An American player, Fischer, taking on a Russian player in the era of Cold War. This was just amazing. Yes, everyone who said the move e5, well done guys. You want to keep the position closed. You also want to move it to the other color of your remaining bishop. So you see how black gave up his bishop, dark squared bishop, and then put all his pawns on dark square so that the other bishop can be free. Well done guys, all those who said e5, fantastic work. Yeah. Now Spassky said, well, I'm going to play d5, you're giving me space, so I'm happy. Fischer said, okay, knight e7. By the way, in this position, the idea of playing knight a5 doesn't really work, because you would like to play b6, bishop a6 and put pressure here on this pawn, but white can always go knight d2, and when you go b6 he can play knight b3, and this already is a bit of a trouble for black, because if he takes, then he is making white structure very solid here, and if he doesn't take and comes back here, then already white can think about a4, a5, and also this knight is not so well placed. So black players started to play knight e7, and here Spassky played knight to h4. Okay, now in this position I want you to think a bit and tell me, what would you play here as black? What is your move? Black to move. Who was Fischer's opponent? Fischer's opponent was Spassky. Okay, Atharva, please don't post the same comment again. Yeah. Spassky should have taken the e5 pawn right to open up the position. With d5 he closed the position. We'll come to it. What should white do? It's like an entire historical, I'm trying to build this thing up. But if you look at it this way, after de, somehow it doesn't feel like you have opened up the position. Yes, true, you have a file open, but I think it will benefit black more than white, because black will go bishop e6, these pawns will be weak, and this bishop is still quite passive. So in that sense, I don't really feel that de would have been the right move. Guys, don't look at the game, yeah, in your computer and tell me moves. But yes, to all the people who here say h6, you guys are geniuses. Yeah, why h6? Can anyone tell me the reason why h6 should be played? Prathamesh Divekar said to prevent bishop g5 and also f4. Okay, very good, Prathamesh, excellent. Shank says side with less space should exchange pieces, so ng6. Very good, Shanks. This is what I like when you are logical. But the point is, after knight g6 I can go knight f5 here, and maybe it's not so simple. So what Fischer did was he played h6, and he was kind of waiting for his opponent what to do. So yes, it stops bishop g5 as well. And let's say if white castles here, which is not a good move, then you can go g5. This is a very strong move. And if you had to go back, then after knight g6, knight f4, it seems like black is taking over the initiative. But if you go knight f5, then I can take and play the move e4. Yeah, this is a nice move, attacking your bishop and then picking up this pawn on f5 when black is doing really well. Okay, Atmaj Jahagirdar has contributed 20 rupees. Atmaj, I'm thankful to you for contributing 20. Wonderful. So now what happened is Spassky said, so you want to go g5, and you are also very tricky because you stopped nf5, because you will take and play e4 and then pick up this pawn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play f4. And Fischer said, what, f4? What sort of move is this? Didn't I just prevent it? So can anyone tell me what should black do now to f4? Okay, Aditya Ramanathan, I would call you the imbalance man. I feel that he has learned the most about imbalances through this class, because he puts things down really meticulously. But maybe many of you have done and can't write it so well. But he has written, white has more space, white has bishop pair, black's light squared bishop is better than white's, king safety is relatively equal, development is equal, black's pawn structure is better than white's, equal plus. I think everything is correct. The only thing I will say is, instead of equal plus, it's still around equal, this position. Okay, now first question is, why doesn't e into f4, bishop into f4 and g5 work? This is the reason why you played h6, didn't you? What is the problem here? You know, there is I have a very good friend. His name is Nikhil Joshi. I don't know if he is here in listening to this video, but he plays this line a lot with white, and he is an expert, I would say, at this opening. And once I was playing with him with black, and I thought I had won a piece, and Nikhil surprised me with a very powerful move here. So if someone can find what is the move here that white should play, very good practical thinking. Sayan Roy, Sairam Sampath, Mitesh Borkhetaria, Haidar Yasmin, Hema Logu, Shivant, Anish Adiga, Jimmy Joseph, Ilam Parthi, Shriyana Malya, Preet Mhatre. Okay, fantastic guys, you are amazing, amazing. E5 is the correct move, and E5. And here I started to think. Vicky M says Nikhil Joshi is my friend. He's in Canada. Okay, wonderful. So Nikhil Joshi, if he's here, you have a lot of people following. By the way, I told him to come on this show, but I don't know if he is here. Maybe he will write in the chat. Okay, so knight G8 or something if it is played, because clearly you can't take the pawn after bishop takes. This is trouble, and you have saved your piece. And look at this position. This is just what white wanted. He's opened it up for his bishops, and he cannot be happier. He is the most happy person. But the point is that after something like knight g8, where you are trying to win a pawn, I think white has several ways to take advantage of this. Maybe the best way would be to play e6 or queen h5 as well, where if I take a piece, then you can go e6, and somehow this is very very soft. It's game over. Yeah, also e5, if you take nd5, maybe this is the best you can do. But you see, Jeet, who suggested this move, after this it's going to be completely bad position for you. White is going to castle, pieces will be equal, position is opened up. I think white is just winning. Okay, so we get to this position where f4 was played, and e into f4 is not a good move. So what did Fischer play? Fischer played brilliantly. Here I want to ask you, black to move, what should black play here? So Fischer was thinking, and I think he'd already prepared this. Yeah, K Dexter, yes, you are right. Fischer played knight to g6. Also EC, Mithran Pradeep Kumar, Soumya Mahesh, Karan Parekh, everyone got it right. Knight to g6 was the move Fischer played. And Spassky said to himself that, look, if I play knight f5, this guy is going to take it, and take on f4. Yeah, that's why the pawn being on f4 was to black's advantage. If it was here back, you couldn't have taken the pawn. So after take, black is better. So Spassky said, wait, I have an idea. I will take on g6. So Fischer said, okay, I will take. And then he said, I'll take on e5, and I'll take on e5, and I'll play bishop to e3. And here, guys, I want you to look at this position and try to come up with the imbalances here. Yeah, imbalances in this position. What should black what should black play is a secondary question, but first let's go to the imbalances in this position. Tarun says d5 is a passed pawn. Very good, Tarun, excellent. What else? b6, since black's pawn is weak on the queen side. Yes, you have to make a move b6, and he did make a move b6, but still let's try to discuss the imbalances. White has bishop pair. Very good, Tarun is doing well. Pranav Thakur, yes, passed pawn. Open f file. Very good, Vishal Kumar. B pawn is weak in queen side, says Rishila. How is this weak right now? It's pretty much defended by my pawn on a7. Doubled pawns on c5, says Reshma Dulgaj. Very good. G6 is weak. Well, perhaps G6 slightly, but can't attack it so easily, so I don't see it as weakness. Pawn structure bad for white. I'm not sure if it is bad. Yes, white has double pawns, but he also has a passed pawn. Black has queenside majority, says Tharun. Yes, that's true. Central pawns are blocked, so bad for bishops, says Jeet. Well, true, but I think this bishop on dark squared bishop looks pretty good for now. Okay, black has isolated pawn, says Nandan. E5 is an isolated pawn. Well spotted by you. Can someone give me a good summary of the entire imbalances in the position? Advait Desai has tried. He says white has bishop pair with a passed pawn, but he also has doubled pawns. Black has nice pawn structure and development. I don't see. Yeah, you still have all your pieces on the last rank, but yes, also pawn structure wise I think black is struggling as well. His pawns are doubled, isolated. White has a passed pawn, so that should work in white's favor. Okay, let's look at some people who have given an overview. Sumed Ramteke says white has two bishops, pawn structure is damaged, d5 is passed, bishop versus knight, position is closed, white has much space and open file. Well, also remember b file is a semi-open file for white, while d file being a semi-open for black is blocked by this passed pawn here. Shank says white has bishop pair, but light squared bishop is bad. Okay, white has more space, d5 is a passer. Very good. C pawns are doubled. Yes, black's g pawn are doubled but difficult to attack. Black knight can go to f4 via h5. True, that is right. Pretty much good summary of the imbalances. I would say e5 is isolated. Please note that. This is an open file. This is semi-open file. This is the open file. Also, I think the position is around even here, but a lot will depend on whether who makes the best use of their imbalances in this position. Okay. Now, I know many of you have written here, but I'm sorry I can't read everything. But thanks for putting it there. I think we all have covered everything together. Yeah. So, what did Fischer do? He first, Spassky castled. Fischer also castled. And now Spassky played the move a4. And when Spassky played a4, Fischer sat down, started thinking, and he made a brilliant move here. So, black to move. What would you play here? Nish and Neil says, what is a semi-open file? Well, a semi-open file is when it's open for you, but there is an opponent's pawn on it. Then it's a semi-open file. An open file is where there are no pawns on that. Okay, so Rajesh Verma has got it right. Also Haider Yasmin. Well, Chinmay Jagga, you can send your game on chessbaseindia@gmail.com. Rishila Banerjee as well. Prathamesh Divekar has got it right. Tinku Saha has got it right. Sumedh, your idea is correct, but the execution is right now not so good. Also Chanchal Jha, the same. Niranjan Warrior suggests queen d6, but Niranjan, remember, the queen is never a good blockader of a passed pawn. So here I don't like this move. Arts and gadget stuff, good job. Sairam Sampath, well done. Fisher made a move which was really very how do I put it, anti-intuitive. He made the move a5, and many times, chess is a game of giving and taking. So here with a5, you stopped white from playing a5, but at the same time gave yourself a weak b6 pawn. So a good player will assess whether taking this b6 pawn is good for him or not. It's like that. So if all those who said knight e8, now the thing is, you have the right plan. You want to put your knight on d6 because the knight is the best blockader of a passed pawn. But let's say after rook f8, king f8, I play a5. This is actually turning out in white's favor because he is able to open up more lines, and it's good for his bishops. Also, this pressure on this pawn chain here is not good for black. So Fisher went a5, which is really brilliant move. Rook b1, and then he played bd7, and now you can see he is attacking this weakness on a4. Okay, so rook b2 was played, and here after rook b8, which is to defend the pawn, Shashank asks, how do we decide who has the control over the open file? For instance, who has the control of f file? Well, for now it seems like both sides pretty much no one controls it, but white is definitely staking his claim here by getting the rook. My rook will take more time, so perhaps right now white has better chances, but we can just say that currently we are not sure who controls it. So rook bf2, now it's of course white. Queen e7, bishop c2, and now black went for the move g5. Okay, this is a very nice move, as you will see. And after bishop d2, I think Spassky was running out of plans here. Fisher made a move which is very nice. Can anyone find it? What should black play? What should black play in this position? Yes, b5 square is weak, says Vaibhav, but well, who's going to come there? This bishop has no way of coming to b5. Yes, knight g4 and bishop g4 both are good moves, but Fisher played something really very thematic here. Karan says knight h5, but Karan, that just drops a piece. Rook f7 is correct, that's an interesting move, but Fisher played something really interesting and I learnt a lot from it. Also, Jeet Shah has mentioned it correctly, that's a good move. Anyone else? Practical thinking, yes, but better. Haider Yasmin, you are right, good job. Who else has got it right? Well, all those who say knight g4, not a bad move at all, it's a good move. Also those who say bishop g4, not at all a bad move. But Fisher played, Harsha Indukuri has got it right, Fisher played queen e8. And the point is to keep an eye on the a4 pawn, but at the same time play queen g6, knight h5 and knight f4. So this is a powerful move and it was prepared with the move g5. So bishop e1, queen g6, queen d3, and now came knight to h5. Okay, and takes, and try to now assess this position, because whenever something major happens on the board, like all the rooks came off, you need to start assessing what's happening here. So black to move, took the sort of exchange the rooks, and now in this position, yes, it's white's move, but try to understand the imbalances, who according to you is better here. Who do you think is better? Yeah, Akshit, knight g4 was pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's a bad move, but here Fisher had this plan of playing g5, queen e8, queen g6. This is why he played it. But let's try to understand who you think is better in this position. Well, the game ended in only two moves, so because Spassky blundered in this position. But if you are saying that black is better here, Tinku Saha, then why? White has the bishop pair, correct. Black has strong control over f4 square, yes, Vishal. And Shivam Shah, yes, you are right. Block central pawns, black is better due to having the knight, says Ahmad Justin. Yes, it's true, but where would you like your knight to be? Ilam Parthi says black is clearly better. Okay, but you know, white has bishop pair, white has the passed pawn. Why do you think black is clearly better? Well, Jaideep says white light squared bishop is still bad, black knight is active, black has a great light squared bishop, black has the initiative. Yes, all of you are really understanding this position deeply. On first sight it may look white is better because he has the bishop pair and passed pawn, but when you look deeper you will understand this pawn is weak, this pawn is weak, and also this pawn is a weakness, and both of black's pieces can attack those weaknesses while only one white piece can defend it. So imagine, okay, a situation where white plays queen f1, I play queen f7, and you exchange this. This is lost position for black, for white, because what black will do is he will play knight f6, knight e8. By the way, he'll take care that bishop g3 doesn't lose a pawn. But then knight d6, bishop c8, and bishop a6, and this pawn is lost. Yeah, you can't defend it, and this is completely lost. So exchanging the rooks actually is to black's advantage in this position because the minor piece endgame is just lost. Okay, a lot to learn from this. By the way, let's have a look at how the game ended. bd1. By the way, I must say a few people who have done a good job on the imbalances are Pankaj Panchal, Karan Parik, Ishir Narayanan, Pradeep Das. All of you are trying to look at all the imbalances and coming to a conclusion. Nilay Kulkarni, I think this is really very good. Shrishti Chhede, Suresh Borse, and Aditya Ramanathan. Good job, guys. Okay, so bd1 was played. Fisher played knight f4, and after queen c2, it's black to move and win the game. Yes, black to move and win the game. What would you play? By the way, a huge shout out to Jaideep Chakrabarti, who's doubled his amount. He usually contributes 400 rupees every day, today 800. Thank you so much, Jaideep, for contributing such a huge amount. All of the money goes to PM Cares funds for all of those who are here. There are two ways to contribute. You can do so by super chat, and you can also do it from the link in description, the first link, pay you money link that is put up. Yes, K Dexter, you are right. Sairam Sampath as well. Well done, guys. Nilay Kulkarni, Uday Paideti, Rajesh Verma, Hema Logu, Prathamesh Divekar, EC, Tinku Saha, Shanks, Chanchal Jha, Rishila Banerjee. Well done, guys. This is the right move. Pradeep Kanitkar, Ilam Parthi. Ilam Parthi always gives one more additional. This is what I like. Also, Divya Lund did it this time. Well done, Divya. Honi Arora, excellent. Pradeep Kanitkar, the right move is take, and Spassky resigned. You know, the reason is if you take the bishop, queen takes e4 is a mate here, and if you try to save it here, it's a mate here. So can't save both the things, and if you move your queen, it means I can just take it, or I can first even take here and then take on e4, and black wins the game. So the end was very quick. It was not like a struggle which kind of continued, but you learned a lot. You learn about, first of all, a minor piece, because you give up your bishop for a knight. Then you learn about pawn structure, because you are doubling the pawns. But at the same time, as black, you will never make a move like d5. Why? Because d5 as a move is not completely illogical, I would say, but you are opening up the pawn position for your opponent. And I would say that this is something where I did lack my understanding in chess, which was d5. I thought is always a bad move like this, because you are undoubling the pawn and opening up the position for black, which could be the case here, but sometimes it also opens up your bishop. It has a possibility of making this weak. So chess is quite complex. Every time you can't just say, okay, I'm looking at the imbalances and this is what it is. But here I would say black did the right strategy of playing d6, putting the pawns on the opposite color of his bishop, existing bishop. By the way, a big shout out to Sudhir, who's contributed 1,000 rupees. Thank you, Sudhir. That is very kind of you. Ishir Narayanan said, what if queen a4, queen takes, and king f2? Well, knight d3 seems to do the trick. Yeah, knight d3 and you win a piece. Okay, so here white took more space, but I think the real star move was knight g6, because after take, you see how black has spoilt his structure, made it double, made an isolated pawn, but he knew that in the long term he is going to be better, and a5 was really an amazing move, fixing this pawn. And then Fischer just played, he exchanged the rooks, first brought his queen in, exchanged the rooks, and this was just winning, and he won the game. Okay, now I'm going to show you one game which shows how important it is to understand these games deeply. If you can understand them well, then you can actually use it in your own games. If you don't understand them well, then you will always be struggling. You will always have to think on the board many times, but sometimes you can just score points by your knowledge of these games. By the way, a huge thanks to Amok Bist. I've already mentioned yesterday, he's the former under-8 national champion. Amok, thank you for contributing 400 rupees. Very nice of you. Okay, so what are we going to look at now is a game that I played after I learnt this from Fischer, and this was at the Maharaj Bagh tournament in Nagpur, and it was in 2007. My opponent was Dipthamesh Reddy, who was around 2000 rated, and he played d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, and I said he played a3. By the way, in Fischer's game it was knight f3, c5, e3, knight c6, bishop d3, takes d6. Yeah, now you all remember the opening, but my opponent played a3. So I said, okay, anyway, I've come to take, so I will take it. c5, e3, knight c6, bd3, and castles. Okay, he played knight f3. By the way, in this positions, you have already wasted a move with a3. So you can put your knight on e2 now, because this can help you to play e4, f4 and push your pawns forward. And I think this is a better move. But my opponent played knight f3 and I think it was not a good idea. I continued with d6. He played e4 and I continued Fischer's strategy of giving up my bishop and then placing my pawns on the opposite color. of my bishop. He went d5. I played knight to e7. He castled, and here I started to think. I played the move h6. I was still trying to think of this game Fischer Spassky. Okay, Spassky Fischer. My opponent played knight to h4, and here I was thinking for a bit, what should I do with black? And I'm not going to ask you this question, because what happens is that here there is a small difference as compared to the Fischer game. Can anyone tell me? This is my question, not the move. I want to ask you, what is the small difference as compared to Fischer Spassky Fischer game? There is a very small change, and if someone is alert, can tell me. No, it's black to move, by the way. Here, last move was knight h4. Yes, Ishir Narayanan, very good. Pawn on a3. He had played a3, which Spassky had not played. Excellent. So this is the place where a tempo was lost, and that's why when actually my opponent played d5, I could even play knight a5 here. The reason being that last time when I had said knight d2, b6, knight b3, now I can just take, because now his pawn structure is not improved with ab3. These are the subtle differences in chess. Yeah, very small differences, but if you study them well, you know them better, you are a much stronger player. Very good. All those who said a3 is the thing which was missing in the last game. Okay, now he played knight h4, and I was thinking, if I go knight g6, he may play knight f5, and there is no pawn on f4, so here I can't take and play knight into f4, because the pawn is still on f2. So I have to make a waiting move, and I began thinking, what should I play? So after rook e8, what I didn't like was that after f4, takes, fe, de, the f file has opened up and my rook is on e8. So I said, no, I don't like rook e8. Let's not play rook e8. Okay, by the way, a big shout out to Yogesh Meena, who's contributed 100 rupees. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for your contribution. So rook e8 I gave up. Then I thought of knight g6, but I didn't like knight f5. I also didn't like g5 because he goes queen f3, attacking my knight. And then if I play king g7, he gives a check, and somehow this didn't feel good for myself. So I made a waiting move. Also bd7, I was not very sure what to do after queen f3. So I made a waiting move, which was queen e8. I think it was an interesting move. I wouldn't say a nice move or a bad move or anything, but if you remember Fischer's game, he had played queen e8, queen g6 at some point. So here I am actually trying to make use of this extra tempo in my favor. It's a deep thought. I thought for nearly 30 minutes, and my opponent actually helped me. He played f4. In fact, he should have understood that this is not the best move here. Black is looking for f4. He should have played rook e1, and the position is interesting. F4, I went knight g6, he took, I took, fe, de, and you see that we have come to the same position like Fischer, Spassky Fischer, same structure here. And well, I knew everything what to do. So when my opponent played a4, what did I do now? Come on, we should play quickly, we should play like Fischer. What did I do here? Mohini Bhave said, once if purchased mega database and chessbase 15, is it for life? Yes, it's like your mobile phone. Once you purchase it, it's for a lifetime. The newer versions will come, but your version will keep working. So you can say it's for a lifetime. Yes, Mitesh, you are right. This is the correct move. When the opponent plays a4, you fix that weakness. I didn't even think much. I just played a5. Then he went bishop e3. Now what should you do? b6. He went queen b3. And these are the small differences in the position. Now black to move. What should black play? All those who said a5 to a4, well done. Now the next question, what should black do here? You see, the structure is the same. There are small differences. If my queen were on d8, I would have played bd7 and rook b8 and defended everything. But my queen is on e8 because I played that move. So now what to do? All those who said rook b8, be careful, because if you play rook b8, you make a tactical error, and this is always the, how do you say, biggest enemy of strategy is tactical misses. Okay, so you are really in this strategy, if he goes a4, I will play a5, I will fix the weakness, doubled pawns, I will play g5, queen g6, knight h5, knight f4, knight e8, knight d6, I'm enjoying myself, wow, great, he's attacked b6, let's play rook b8, and bam. And then you start feeling, oh my god, chess is such a tough game, I'm such a strong player, I know all the strategy, my opponent doesn't know anything. But hey, tactics is a big part of chess, and you cannot really discount it and say, I don't care. So be careful. And now it's all over. Yeah, like if you take this, white is not just better because even his rook can come in, and if you don't take it, then I can just move my bishop back at some point and play c5, and white is winning. Yeah. So therefore the right move here is a little bit awkward move for now, but I have to defend b6, and so I played rook a6. Well done to all those who said rook a6, excellent. Yeah, now my opponent went king h1 and he offered a draw, but I think I was very confident, and I had, in between the period of seeing Fisher's game and playing this game, I had played a lot of online games in this position against Nikhil Joshi, who's my good friend and whom I had mentioned, and I played so many games and we had learned so much. Sometimes he would win, sometimes I would win, but we had understood this position really well, and at least I had come to the conclusion that if I can exchange the rooks here, I will be in a much better position. So bd7, bishop g1, g5, queen d1, rook a8, I got my rook back, queen g6, you will see I'm just playing like Fisher, knight h5, bishop e3, and now what do you do, guys? You should tell me what should black do here, and you already know everything what to do. So yeah, Tanuja, I want to exchange the rooks, but maybe this is a better way to exchange it. How should I now? Anushka Bhatt said, I paid 1,000 through the PayUmoney link. Well, I'll check it, and you will be sure by today evening it will be posted on our page, fightcovid19.chessbase.in. So that way. Okay, so yes, very good. All those who said exchange rooks, excellent. You are putting what you have learned into action. Takes, rook f8, take, and now you know that this position is winning for black. Yeah, it's just a matter of technique. I should be careful of some tactics. As I've always said, the biggest enemy of strategy is often tactics, because you miss a small tactic and your strategy is spoiled. So g3, queen e8, attacking a4. He played queen d1. I played queen f7, king e7. Also exchanging the queens would be in my favor now. I got my first king to c7 to defend everything, and he did bring his queen in and I exchanged it, and now you will see my strategy in full glory, because after he played bd3 and he just blundered a pawn and I won. But even if he did not, and if he played king f2, I would go bishop e8 with the idea of bishop g6. Now attacking e4, he has to defend. Then I go knight e8, knight d6. So now this bishop is locked for these two pawns, and then I go bishop here, and now you see this knight attacks these two guys, this bishop attacks here, and white can't defend everything, and I would have won this game anyway. So this is how you learn something and you apply it in your game. Okay, so I began to wonder, is this line so bad for white? White is playing all the natural moves, black is giving up his bishop here, and then white is landing up in a difficult situation. What's wrong? What's happening? And this is what I want all of you to think in chess, and please listen to me carefully. When someone learns something in chess, the very basis is to think, I have learned something, I must apply it. But I don't think that in chess it works this way. How you should be thinking is, okay, true that black is winning such games, but what is it that white can do better? And if you think this way, you will become a much better, superior player. Yes, you will become a superior player because you are thinking from both sides. If you think from only one side, you may get good results, but your thinking process is not so good. Okay, by the way, a big thank you to Jubin Joseph, who is here, who's listening to this show. I hope, Jubin, you found this useful. Maybe you will use it in your games. He says, great job, sir. Thank you. Manu Das says, thanks for the valuable lesson. Now I'm playing better than my friends in hostel. Wow, in 11 days. One day, can you discuss games between Alpha Zero and Stockfish? Well, maybe this is a good topic for making some videos, but thanks a lot to Jimmy Joseph for 400 rupees and Manu Das for 100 rupees. Okay, so I began to think that, look, things cannot be so bad for white. So here I came up with one of the games which is kind of my favorite game, you can say, with now white pieces. So I played d4 and my opponent is Ram Gupta. Okay, he is a 1993 player. This was in Bhubaneswar Open in 2009 and I had a rating of 2271. So we reached this same kind of position, castles. He took and played d6. And so I began thinking to myself, look, he must be knowing the Fischer versus Pasky game. So if I play e4, he will play e5. Okay, if I play d5, he will go knight e7, and then we can get to the same position. So what I will do is, I will not commit my pawn structure just as yet. So I must make a useful move, but at the same time not commit my structure. So what should I do? Can anyone tell me what is a useful move for white here without actually committing his structure? White to move. Practical thinking says d5. Possible, but I'm not so sure after knight e7. Now I'm threatening e5, and you really don't want to take here because this seems to be a good position for black. A4 says Shanks. Yes, A4, but possible, not a bad move. I wouldn't say it's a bad move, but Harsha Indukuri has got it right. Shanks, Joe Durban. Well, Shanks, you can't say two moves, yeah? You have to decide between A4 or Rook B1. But Rishila Banerjee, Swanand Datar, your move Rook E1 is interesting, but more useful. Tinku Saha has got it right. Roni Negi is to put your rook on the semi-open file. You know, when you have a semi-open file, you put your rook. So I said to myself, look, if black wants to play e5, now let him play it. What should I do now? So white to move. What should white play? Should I play d5 here? Anyone who considers the move d5 in such a position? See, what we did is we learned first what black should do. But now we should learn what white should do. Then we should learn what black should do. This is the right way to learn in chess. You shouldn't be like, oh, this is my opening from black. I must win with black, so I don't want to know how white should play. Not the right approach. Yeah. Well, I think this move is a little bit more complex. Atul Dahale has got it right. By the way, Atul, very strong player, and I think he's played this. Also, EC says, by the way, EC, what's your name? Because you seem to be a good, strong player. So the right move here, and very interesting, and I think this shows the imbalances in true glory. You know, first of all, black wants to win a piece with e4. So I must do something about that. If I play e4, then I am already sort of closing down my position. Yeah. So what I did here, arts and gadget stuff. Good answer. Soham Shirode. Knight to d2. And this shows some good understanding of chess, because I want to play the move f4 and open up the position for my pieces. Okay. Another thing is that if he takes, take, I'm not at all unhappy with this position. I'm actually very happy, because after a move like say knight e4, I have managed to open up my pieces like anything. Yeah, and this is very important. When you have the bishop, you can even sacrifice a pawn to open them up. So let's say a position like this would be a dream scenario for white, because his bishops are beautiful. Next he can go bishop a3 and pick up this pawn. Atmaj Jahagidar says knight d2 planning f4. Well done, Atmaj. Also, many of you got it now, so good job, guys. So my opponent played cd. He did take it. Oh, by the way, this did happen in the game. He took the pawn. I went knight e4 and he played knight e6. And here I won a pawn now. Sridevi Rongali says part 2 of Naidorf with Atul Dahale sir. Well, Atul, please let us know if you are ready for part 2. There are people who want to learn the Naidorf from you. Okay, so here I played, I think there's a tactical move, not a big tactic, very small one, and I win back my pawn. How should I do it? Anyone who can help me? Well, bishop g5 doesn't possible, because I can take it with the knight, so that wouldn't be good. Yeah, Kimaya Virle, Tinku Saha, good job guys, practical thinking. Yes, the right move, Sumed Ramteke, Nilay Kulkarni, Suhas, Tharun, knight into d6. And you know, this position is just so much better for white, you know, because these two bishops are like breathing If you give them life, they're like, wow, what a life, we have open field, we can go to b2, a3, pawn c5, this bishop can go here, this side. And this is what you need for your bishops. They should be able to breathe. Okay, this is what I want. And so I went on to win this game. And I started playing this a lot with white pieces. I started understanding this a lot. And I had another game very recently in 2016. This was against a 2250 player, David Mirzoyan, at the Aeroflot Open. And I was playing with the white pieces, and we had the same line, takes d6. And here I played knight d2. Okay, he castled. What should I do now? Okay, I had to start with knight d2. I can't play rook b1 because of e4. I lose a piece. So I went knight d2. He castled. What should white do? Here, Sherwin D'Souza said complete the game. Okay, let me just check. But I have to show you a couple of more games, so I was trying to rush in a bit. But yeah, you are right. Let's just go to the finish of the game. I took knight d6, b6, bishop b2, and just to show you, here I managed to create some chances and win an exchange, and I went on to win the game. It was not very difficult. I think all the pieces came off, queen got exchanged, and it's done. Yeah, by the way, all the people here, after n d2, we come back to our main game where I had asked castles what should white play. By the way, all those who say f4, be a little bit careful, because f4 is usually met with knight g4 in such positions. And the problem is the e3 pawn becomes slightly weak, and then after I take, I can go rook e8 and put some more pressure here. So it's quite possible that here f4 is not a good move. Also, there are lines like take, and e4 here. Then black goes knight d7, knight c5. This is possible, but I think it's much better to prepare h4 with moves like h3. So first I went rook b1, and now if my opponent plays b6, which is waiting, I will still wait with h3. This is like cat and mouse sort of play. In the game, he took on d4, cd, ed, knight d4, and you already know what should white do here. White is just very happy here. White to move. Mayur Gondalekar said, I'll watch this later. Yes, Mayur, please do so. Some interesting stuff in there for you to learn. So here, what should white do? I think white's play is very clear from my last game. Yes, very good, guys. All those who said knight e4, excellent job. You play knight e4, bishop e4, and my opponent played knight e6. I went queen h5. He played h6, and now came the powerful strike actually, which was bishop into h6, g6, queen h6. And here my opponent was thinking that he can save everything with knight g5, but actually he had missed a very strong move by me. So it's white to move and win the game. Can anyone find this? By the way, instead of h6, it was possible to play g6, but then after queen h6, you can see all the dark squares are weak. So actually after h6, I took, and now after knight g5, it is white to move. Yeah, if f5 here, then I think I can go check, king h8, and bishop b7, bishop takes b7, and this is winning position, because after take I take back and there are threats here. So that doesn't work. By the way, a big thanks to Mayur Gondalekar for contributing Japanese yen 100. Fantastic. Okay, I think you guys are extremely strong and you have found the move. Who are the people? Let me just see. Edwin Glez, Divya, Prathamesh, Haidar, Sumed, Rajesh Verma, Pradeep. Excellent, guys. Ilam Parthi, Jaideep Chakrabarti, Pankaj Panchal. Yeah, so usually, rook b3 is the most natural move, but what happens is that in this position, after rook b3, he could, I don't think this is winning, he will play something like f6, it's possible, or is there any other move? Yeah, even I'm thinking about knight e4 possibilities. Knight e4, and there is no g3 here. Queen is coming to f6. Perhaps this is the right way to play. Yeah? And h3 square is guarded by the bishop. So, but the move which he missed and actually was very strong, and often we miss it because it's uncommon to move the rook further down the file with rook b5, and now he can't take on e4 because my rook swings over to h5 and it's a mate. So he had to play f5, and then after bd5, it's just over, there's nothing he can do. He had to play rook f7. If he interposes something, I just take it. So he played rook f7, rook e1. I think this was a very powerful move, and he thought and thought and thought, and he resigned the game because I am threatening queen g6 followed by taking here, and everything is actually hanging in the position. He is just lost. So I hope that you are understanding what is going on here, but at the same time I didn't give up this line for black. I said to myself, hey, look, white is playing this smartly, I should try to find what to do with black, and that's why I played against Christian Cruz a 2563 GM, and in the same game with black I played this with the black pieces in 2014. He's 2563 and I played e5, he went knight d2, I castled, he played rook b1, so he's using my weapon against me. And so I said to myself, maybe here I should think what to do, and b6 was a better move, I think, but I went cd, cd, ed, ed, and I had prepared a small improvement, which was not to take this knight with the pawn, but what move should black play here which is better than what is played in the game, Hima Padala, you want to use chessbase 15 and the features, please check out the chessbase India YouTube channel. There are a lot of good videos related to it. In fact, we have a playlist as to how to use chessbase 15. Yes, Uday, you are right. Chanchal Ja, you are right. g6, Anup, is not a good move. You weaken all the dark squares after that, all the dark squares in your position. The better move is to play d5. Well done, excellent to all those who found d5. The point is that in this position, yes, it's open, but you at least sort of fix this pawn weakness, and rook e1 was a very powerful move by my opponent. I feel that this variation, after analyzing it deeply, has ended in a small edge for white, but still it's a playable line. I think rook b7 was the best move. After knight a5, play rook b4 and then take. I was actually hoping that I can play such a position with compensation, but yes, white is a pawn up. He will put his bishop here. I will blockade with my knight. I'm a pawn down. I have a decent drawing chances, but yeah, he went c5 in the game, and then after queen c7, I think black was doing fine. The position is relatively closed, you can say, than what we have seen in the previous games, and my knights did pretty well. Okay, so this is what I sort of learnt. And more than just the games, I want to inculcate you in the approach that first you learn something, then you question that what you have learned, then you learn something more in it from the other side, then you learn something more from the other side. It's a back and forth process. It's not like I learned something, wow, great, where is my next opponent, I want to crush him. It's a good attitude to have that, but if you don't have this approach of learning from every end, you will not improve as a player. Yeah, you want to improve as a player, keep an open mind. Shesha Reddy has contributed 500 rupees. Thank you so much for that, Shesha, for your contribution. Really very kind of you. Okay, now I could end this class here, but I will ask you the final one. Do you have time for one small game? If yes, I'll show you. If not, then we'll call this a day. I don't want to continue with this opening anymore, because it's a lot of Nimzo. Tomorrow we'll continue with something else. So yeah, Shashank says I'll post these games on my in chessbase.in. Yes, we'll do that. Ishir Narayanan, if you can't access chessbase 15 cloud, please write to chessbaseindia@gmail. We'll fix that for you. By the way, the result of this game was a draw. Okay, so a few of you, I mean majority of you have said yes. So I think I'll continue this class. And by the way, for all those who want to play today, there is an online tournament, Chessbase India, 3rd Saturday. So if you go to chessbase.in website, here there is an online tournament, and this is this happens today. Adiban, Rinnath, Arvind, Alan Pichot, SL Narayan and Pragnananda all are playing here. Abhimanyu, Gukesh, Zaven Andresian, Arjun Erigesi, Elshan Moradiabadi, Raunak Sadhwani. It's a very strong event, and there is a form here. You fill that up. You need a Chessbase premium account. If you don't have it, go to the online shop here, buy that by typing in account, Chessbase account, type it here and purchase it and use it and play in the tournament. Yeah, I hope that's clear. Let's look at one final game before we call it a day, and I hope that you will like it. It's my final. Actually, I had many more games, but well, because of the lack of time, I realized that this entire lecture could last around 3 hours, but we all need to do other things. Yeah. Okay, question is, am I playing? Well, Aditya Ramnathan says he's playing. I am not sure if I'm playing, because I always have to take care of the organization. Of course, Shaheed Emmet does major things. He takes care of everything. But if something goes wrong, I need to be there as a backup. So I try to avoid playing. But yeah, I feel like making moves. Hands itch. Is it compulsory to have premium account? Yes, that's the entry fee to the tournament. There's no money you have to pay, but just you need premium account. And by the way, if you buy a premium account, you can play on 4th Saturday, which is next Saturday, and another Saturday for free. So it's like 5 events you can play. It's at 8 p.m. tonight, Namitha, and I think the entries may close in some time. So after this session, do register for it if you would like to play. Now, I was playing black, and this was the last round of National A. in 2012 in Kolkata. Yes, Sumedh, the chessbase account comes with chessbase 15 for 3 months. It's free. So if you are planning to buy chessbase 15, this might be a good time, because the same key can be used for playing the tournament. I mean, getting 3 months of chessbase account. So this was the last round, and I was playing P Karthikeyan. Now everyone knows him. He's a former Commonwealth champion. In 2018 he became the Commonwealth champion. He's a grandmaster now. At that point he was an IM, and so I played bishop b4. And when I was going to the tournament hall, I was going with my friend Sohan, and he said, you know, if today last round, if the opponent does offer a draw, I might take it. And I somehow felt, you know, as I previously mentioned with you, when there is nothing at stake, I feel like it's our moral duty to play chess, to play on the board, to fight it out, because I believe that in general you play chess because you enjoy playing chess. If you play chess all the time for rating, results, norms and everything, then after a point it becomes dull, boring, because, well, what do you do? Yeah, if your rating is not growing, do you leave it? If you are not improving, what do you do? So I went to the board and I wanted to play, and he played e3 and I played c5, what I wanted to do. And here my opponent thought for a while and he played the move d5. I said to myself, I have never seen this move before. What I had prepared was a3 sometimes, or bd3 when I was going to play our line, what we have discussed in this class, take d6. But when he played d5, I began thinking to myself what to do. So I said, let's take this guy, you know, anyway my bishop I took, and now I have created an imbalance. So what should black play now? By the way, by this time I think Sohan's game was already over, and I remember that my opponent actually had offered a draw to me in after 10 moves, but I wanted to fight. Okay, so d6 says Pradeep Das. Shanks also says d6. Yeah, possible. Setu Minocha says d6. Quest d6. Tinku Sahad. Everyone says d6. Yeah, I started with e5, as Deepak Dhami says. Yeah, I played e5 first because I said to myself, well, what's the need of d6? If he goes d6 anyway, this is not a great pawn. I can play knight c6, b6, knight a5, bishop a6. So I'm not afraid of this pawn coming here. So I didn't need to play d6. I played e5. Now my opponent played the move knight to e2. He is a strong player. He's not going to let me close down the position. His plan is to play knight g3, bishop d3, f3, castles, and keep the position a bit fluid, not play the move e4, not close down this structure. Yeah, so I thought for a while and I came up with the move e4, and I sort of clamped down his position. I want to keep it closed. I tell this bishop, look, you have nowhere to go. I am blocked you from here. If you come from here, I will block you like this. You have a bad future. So he played knight to g3 and I played d6. Now as white, what should you play in this position? Because as white, you have the bishop pair. So you want to keep the position. What do you want to do? White to move. This is a fight of imbalances. When two good players play each other, they want the imbalances in their favor. So here white is going to fight for what is his. How does he fight? Very good. Uday Paideti, Pradeep Das, excellent. Shrutartha Maiti, very good. Aditya Ramanathan, Rajesh Verma, Shanks, Haider Yasmin, very good. All those who said, many people have said this move f3, opening up the position. So I said to myself, look, I cannot allow him to take and get this fluid structure with bishop d3, e4, f4 castles. That's going to be bad news for me. So I said, I'm going to keep it closed, and I played the move queen to e7, so that if he takes, I can take. If he takes, I can take. And at least in this position, he cannot really play bd3, g2 is hanging. I have control. I can go bishop g4, I can go bishop f5. Black looks okay. So he went for something interesting. He played the move queen c2, and he told me, I want you to take on f3. What are you going to do? And I think the next move which I came up with, I'm very proud of myself that I came up with this move. And so I played this move, and I think this sums up what we want to say with imbalances. If someone can come up with this move with black, I would be very happy in this position. So the idea is that white wants me to take and then put his bishop here, maybe castle, play f4, e4, get things rolling. I have no way to control this pawn. What should I do? Knight bd7, says Rajesh Verma. True, knight bd7, but I'm not forcing him to take. I know what you are trying to do. You want to do knight bd7. By the way, Ilam Parthi has got it right. Excellent, Ilam Parthi. Takes, and knight e5. This is your plan, yeah? You want to do this. Excellent, guys. But in a way, he is not forced to take. So he may make a move like bishop e2. He may castle, and he may keep the tension in the position. But how do I force him to make a decision in the center? How do I force him to take here so that I sacrifice a pawn, but I'm still able to create? And by the way, yeah, all those who said knight d7, knight f5 is a problem. Yeah, this is what I had missed. So I was thinking what to do, and that's when I think Shivant has got it right. Mitran, Pradeep Kumar, Prathamesh Divekar, Mayur Gondalekar, Kushal Jain, Virat Chess, very good guys. Shanks, the right move is h5. Well done. To all those who found it, the plan is to play h4, force him to take, and when you take it, you are able to keep the position closed. Yeah. So he took on e4, and I think he offered a draw. I took and played knight d7, and I think I was very happy with my position. I'm a pawn down, but my knight has a beautiful square on e5. I'm going to play b6, bishop a6, and I think black is better. I went on to win this game, but I want to illustrate this fact to you guys, that when you have an imbalance in the position, which is in this case I have knights, my opponent has bishops, it's always a battle of making your imbalances better. And often what happens is, it's going to be a test of willpower. Who can actually make sure that his imbalances are better? And here it was only after making sure that E into f3 is a very easy move to make. It's like saying, I'm not losing a pawn, I can take it. But finding a move like h5 means you really want to make best use of your imbalance. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you with this game. I thank you all for attending this class. It went on for 1 hour 45 minutes, maybe the longest class that we have always had. I think all those who felt I never read your comments, I'm sorry for that. Especially Reshu Jain, she's written it many times. Sorry for that, and it's not my intention not to read anyone's comments. We'll meet again tomorrow for the 12th session. I hope today's class was useful in kind of recapping everything we learned about minor pieces and pawn structure. They are really a huge number of imbalances, and we also learned about weak squares, about open files, about all of this. And yeah, by the way, there's a nice question by someone who says, when you played h5, can he play h4? Well, I think I had thought about this, but now you see this knight here is slightly exposed. So can I do two things? One is I can play queen e5, forcing f4, then the position remains closed. And if he defends this knight like this, maybe I can think of rook h6, rook g6, or I can also think of playing castles here. And somehow it felt like white has no move and his king is sort of misplaced. And so this is how I thought about this. Okay, if you guys really want a homework, okay, I'm going to give you a game, yeah, and I'm going to paste it in the comment section, and I want all of you to analyze it. I'm going to take out all the commentary that I have, and I'm going to ask you. I think it's a good game, and I'm going to ask you to analyze it for your homework. So let me see if I can put it, and if you guys can copy it. This is it only allows 200. Okay, yeah, I can do one thing. I can put a link basically. Yeah, this is a good idea. So let me show you how you do it on ChessBase. All those who would like to share. So yeah, here I am sharing my screen, and so this is the game that I want to give you for homework. Okay, so I will right click here and I will say output, publish to web, one click publication. And when I do that, it actually gives me a unique link over here which I can share with all of you here. And so this is what I'm going to do, and all those who want this game can actually download it from here, and then you can analyze it. This is your homework, and I would really like if you can analyze it well. Okay, Akshit Bhatia, I am going to upload stuff from the last 3 days on ChessBase India, so please wait for that. Yeah, if you have good games, if you want to share them with me, please do so on chessbaseindia@gmail. A big thanks to everyone. Couple of things: if you would like to contribute towards the fight against coronavirus, please do so from the link in the description. It's a pay you money link. All money goes to PM Cares account. If you want to know what's the current status of your of the collection, go to fight COVID-19 at chessbase.in, also in the link, and check out. We have raised 38,000, maybe more today as I will update it. And lastly, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I'm going to see you tomorrow. Goodbye, see you, and at 9 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Bye.